The Green Lantern Season 2 Issue 2 heads to Cosmodor City, the city dedicated to the future and scientific experimentations. As some investors are led round the tour guide says that he has something special planned, reassuring the scared scientists the specimens he found are completely harmless. Elsewhere, Hal Jordan is taken through the city by Eve Doremus. Hal points out that there is nothing natural at all in the city and it makes him wonder, asking who's in charge of events, but Eve says that the entire station, especially District 5, has a blankness to it now, and he will soon see why. As they get off the train, Eve says that her father built the city as the Disneyland meets suburbia type place, and it's all got a pre-programmed community which he wanted to give a science fiction twist to. Hal knows that that's not how it turned out at all, and there is something haunting about the streets, as if the people were turned off. Eve says her father was rather self-deluded, wanting to make money from the discomfort. Eve says that after 2 weeks of staying there, some people got misplaced. Then her father went missing, along with some major investors he was touring around the city. Hal says that he can help, but his methods are often unsightly and never withstand rational scrutiny. Eve knows this all might make sense under his green light, revealing a giant feather was found near where the people disappeared and probably belongs to the culprit of the disappearances. Hal says an alien bird would suit his current requirements, and Hal tells her that he will do what he can as he learns of Sector 3 just next door to Sector 5, which is a dig site her father is using to get to something big underground. Talk turns to Hal being assigned stakeout duty on Earth by the New Guardians, something he is not happy with, but he is stuck on Earth until his perp breaks cover. Eve comments about how when he's stuck, Hal only comes to her for help. Suddenly Hal shifts into his Green Lantern costume, knowing the alien he's after has reared his head as one appears behind them. His alien perp confronts them, telling him not to shoot as he's trapped in a construct. Eve tells him to calm down since all he's done is exposed an actor. The man removes the alien mask he is wearing, revealing himself to be just a normal human named Johnny Blue. Hal looks over the man's intricate mask, impressed with the tentacles moving independently on it, making him even comment how the mask could actually be an alien. Johnny is excited to meet a Green Lantern, pointing out that they both wear masks, but Hal says he used to wear his just to keep his identity secret, but now he kinda likes the Lone Ranger look it gives him. Soon talk turns to Hal's satchel and how he doesn't care for possessions or attachments or commitments, making him a real beatnik in Eve's eyes. Taking off over the city, Hal is frustrated to be back on Earth, a place where everyone seems to know more about him than he knows about himself, thanks to him leaving way too much of his past lying around. His ring tells him that since coming to the city, Hal, Eve, and everyone else they've contacted with aren't making any sense. The ring says that it's picked up a blanket transmission and it's affecting his speech centers and decision making, but it's not alien in nature, only a high frequency sound. Hal soon spots Johnny attacking Eve, racing in to help her, and hoping she will just tell him that she's fine and act normal. The ring continues to tell him about the ultrasonic whistle as he tries to help Eve, who says that there is something in the mask, revealing that she has had one of the alien masks put on her head, and it is possessing her. The ring alerts him to more people controlled by the masks moving in on him, but it's too late as they release an energy over Hal, putting a mask on him as he tells his ring he's going to play possum. Hal pretends to be knocked out, carried out into Sector 3 where he's dumped. Getting up and removing his mask, he knocks out 2 of the possessed guards before looking into the dig site, shocked to find a fantastic fossilized city underground. Suddenly a bird creature confronts him, and Hal uses his ring to translate its squawks, learning it is Rakor, Lord of the Ornithoids, who is there to rule Earth's skies yet again. The bird reveals that during the Great Atom War, Empress Araka entombed an entire generation of deadly holy warriors, and now the wingless masked peons he has taken over will uncover the eggs which contain more flying super soldiers of the Ornitho Empire, but that would take years to do, whereas Hal's ring could do it in minutes. The bird demands that Hal does what he tells him to, since if he doesn't, he will kill the mask-wearing slaves with a simple whistle, boiling the brains inside their head. Rakor says that when the Winged Lords arise, he will be the first they see and they will obey only him, and at his command, he will rain atomic grenades and guano plagues over the Earth. With no other choice, Hal helps him remove the debris, uncovering the eggs, telling him that Eve would refute all of Rakor's claims. The alien orders him to be locked up, so Hal is imprisoned in a cell with others, telling his ring that this is all part of his plan, but he won't reveal his plan just yet. He knows he can't risk the safety of Eve and the others until they are out of the bird's control and the masks. In the cell next to him is Mark Doremus, Eve's father, who recognizes Hal as the one one Eve is dating, as he is taken by one of Rekor's men. A fellow imprisoned bird says that Mark is getting weak and is sorry that his people are responsible for this. Hal tells the bird that he knows he's not an alien, but an indigenous species of Earth. The bird confirms it, saying that they were an ancient hidden tribe, survivors of the Atom War, and his name is Kror, the last of the royal ornithropes. He tells Hal his father was killed by Rekor and he was imprisoned, and if Rekor gets the Risen Legion, everything will be killed, since those eggs hold his ancestors, who held great power. Hal reassures him he's got this as Mark is forced to dig up the eggs. The possessed Eve sees her father, causing her to rip the mask off as the freed Hal arrives, attacking Rekor so he can't whistle, letting Eve free the others of the masks. The living masks crawl up the walls, surrounding Hal as Rekor says that he gave the masks independent movement. Hal kills the masks with his ring, saying that the bird's tech was new 80 million years ago, but since then Earth has had quite a few upgrades thanks to its metahuman heroes, who will bludgeon the bird army senseless within hours of showing up. Hal says he explained this to Kror, causing Rekor to want to know what the Green Lantern can offer them. Hal says that his ring has a series of planets to offer them, in which the birds could thrive on and rebuild away from human interference. Rekor says that Earth was theirs first and refuses to surrender as Kror arrives, saying the eggs, which are the beginning to hatch, will follow him towards a utopia. As Rekor and Kror battle it out for dominance, Hal is the first thing the hatchlings see, making him their leader. Hal says that he guesses this proves that war is communication practiced by morons. Rekor can't believe that he was overthrown and the humans will hunt them now, so there must be a better way. Kror says that he wants to form an alliance with Hal and return to the stars. Hal says that he promises the protection of the Guardians of the Universe and the Green Lanterns will be offered to the people. Later, after sleeping with Eve, Hal is contacted by the Guardians, who tell him the alien he's hunting on Earth has been detected. Hal is glad to get back onto the case, getting dressed and trying to sneak out of the house, but is caught by Eve, who wants to talk about kids. Hal doesn't really want any, and Eve says that she's young enough not to think about that yet, and in the meantime she's been brushing up on her space geography. Going outside, Hal points out some of the places he's been over the years, pointing out Athmora, where he is known as Sir Hal of the Green Lamp. He points out some other places he's been to as Eve asks where he's headed off to now, learning he's headed to Nevada and back to his roots at an airfield where the alien has been spotted. Sharing a kiss with Eve, Hal takes his leave, telling her not to worry about him since he knows how to keep warm. Green Lantern Season 2 Issue 2 was another absolutely wacky and strange issue that had a pretty simple premise to it when you look at it. Ancient bird creatures raised from an ancient civilization to try and take over Earth. That's basically the series. I loved how strange the dialogue was to begin with, which really read like a kind of golden or silver age comic. There was an eloquence to the conversation, and I really enjoyed how Grant Morrison played with that and also kind of made that a plot point with this weird science city causing Hal and others to talk like that and not make much sense to each other. I'm enjoying Hal's continued weird adventures, and I'm really looking forward to where on earth he heads next. I'm going to give this issue a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5